They say that distance is just a number, a calculation of time and light. 2,500 light years. That is how far I am from the throne I once sat upon. That is how far I am from the hive mind that used to sing me to sleep, the billion voices that once formed the chorus of my existence. But looking at him, looking at the fragile, soft-skinned creature shivering in the corner of this damp cave, the distance feels infinite. My name is Xalara. To the Vyrn ascendancy I am a memory, a glitch in the code, a biological error that was purged from the databanks. To them I am the queen who fell, but to him, to Jack, I am simply the one who stayed. We are currently hiding on a nameless rock in the Orion Spur. It is cold here. The atmosphere is thin, barely breathable for him. I can hear the rattle in his chest, a wet, heavy sound that gets worse when the twin suns go down. My biology is superior, my skin is hardened silicate, my blood is liquid copper. I could survive in the vacuum of space for an hour without a suit. But he is so terribly, wonderfully fragile. We have been running for 3 cycles. That is 12 Earth years. And tonight, as the storm rolls in and the magnetic lightning strikes the ridge, I am recording this. Not for my people, they have deafened their ears to me, but for his, if humanity ever reaches this far. If you ever find this beacon, know that your son did not die in vain, and know that a queen of the Vyrn loved him enough to lose everything. This is how the galaxy learned that loyalty is stronger than blood. The Vyrn are not evil. You must understand this to understand what happened. We are simply absolute. We are a hive mind, though the queens retain individuality to direct the swarm. We value order, perfection, silence. We do not have art, we have architecture. We do not have music, we have frequency alignment. When the Terran ship the Icarus drifted into our territory, my council saw a virus. They scanned the humans and saw chaos. They saw a species that warred with itself, that consumed resources, that lied, that cheated. The council voted for immediate sterilization. They wanted to burn the Icarus out of the sky before it could even initiate a landing cycle. But I felt something else. As the High Matriarch, my telepathy is vast. I reached out across the void to their captain. Jack Halloway, I didn't feel a virus, I felt fire. I felt a chaotic, burning will to survive. I felt fear, yes, but beneath the fear was a curiosity so potent it tasted like ozone on my tongue. I ordered the fleet to stand down. I invited them to the surface. The council was horrified. A matriarch does not touch the unclean, but I was fascinated. Jack was not part of a hive. His thoughts were his own, a jumble of noise and colour. He told me of Earth, of blue oceans and green forests, colours my eyes had trouble processing. He told me of music, of grief. For 6 months we maintained a diplomatic truce. I learned that humans break easily. A fall from 3 meters can cripple them. A microscopic germ can kill them. And yet they throw themselves into the dark with a reckless abandon that the Vyrn could never understand. The council whispered behind my back. They said I was infected. They said the human chaos was seeping into my neural link. They were right. I remember the day it changed. Jack showed me a hologram of his daughter. She was back on Earth waiting for him. He cried. I had never seen a Vyrn cry. We do not mourn, we replace. If a drone dies, we clone another. The efficiency is absolute, but humans are irreplaceable. That concept shattered me. If Jack died, the universe would lose a unique frequency that would never exist again. I realized then that my people were not perfect. We were stagnant. And humanity, for all its flaws, was alive. The purge happened at dawn. The council didn't even warn me. They simply severed my link to the hive. One moment I heard the thoughts of billions, the comforting hum of the collective. The next, silence. Deafening, terrible silence. They launched the orbital bombardment on the human quarters immediately. I rushed to the guest wing, my royal armor clattering against the crystal floors. The Icarus was already in flames. Most of the crew was dead before they reached the airlock. I found Jack trapped under a collapsed beam of crystal. His leg was crushed. He was screaming not for help but for me to run. He knew what they would do to a queen who turned traitor. My personal guards surrounded us, my own children. They pointed their spears at my throat. They commanded me to drop the vermin. I looked at them. These were beings I had birthed from the spawning pools. I loved them, but looking at them then I realized they were empty. They were just echoes of the council's will. I looked down at Jack, who was fading, his blood warm against my cold skin. I deny the collective, I said. The words triggered the Exile protocol. In Vyrn society you are not executed for heresy, you are erased. They stripped me of my crown. They locked my biosign out of the city's power grid. And then they opened fire. We barely made it to my private scout ship. It was a small vessel, not meant for deep space. As we punched through the atmosphere, I felt the sorrow of my planet. I felt the council erasing my name from the history archives. I was no longer Queen Xalara, I was null. We jumped, not toward Earth, they would have followed us there and burned your world to ash. I jumped into the wild, unmapped dark, into the deep void. That was 12 years ago. You must understand, for a Vyrn, 12 years is a blink. We live for millennia. But for Jack, time is a predator. I watched him age. I watched the grey creep into his hair. I watched the lines deepen around his eyes. The lack of proper medical supplies meant his leg never healed right. He walks with a limp. He coughs constantly. We are fugitives. The Vyrn Hunters are relentless. They do not sleep. They track my unique psionic signature. I have to keep my powers suppressed, which is like holding your breath for a decade. If I use my telepathy, they find us. So we run, we land, we scavenge, we hide. Jack taught me to be small. He taught me that a meal tastes better when you have starved for it. He taught me that loyalty isn't programmed, it is chosen. He asked me once, during a fever dream on the jungle moon of Theta 9, why? Why did you throw away an empire for one broken man? I told him the truth. Because an empire is just geometry, you are a story. He didn't understand, but he squeezed my hand and that was enough. We found this planet, Exo 25, 3 weeks ago. It has high magnetic interference which masks our ship's signature. It seemed safe, but Jack is dying. Not from a weapon but from the journey. His heart is failing. The stress of 2,500 light-years of running has worn him down to the thread. I possess the technology to clone him. I could take his DNA and make a new Jack. A younger Jack. I offered this to him, but he forbade it. That wouldn't be me, he said. That would just be a copy. Let me end, Xalara. It's what makes the time we had matter. Humans, so obsessed with their own endings. But now, the ground is shaking. Dust falls from the ceiling of the cave. Outside, in the stormy sky, I can hear the engines. 3 sleek black Vyrn Hunter ships. They look like predatory birds. Their searchlights sweep the rocks. They are here. I felt them before I heard them. The familiar buzz of the hive mind scratching at the back of my skull. They have found us. Jack is awake. He is sitting up, his kinetic rifle in his lap. He knows he cannot win. He can barely stand, but he is checking the charge on the battery. He looks at me and smiles. It is a sad smile, but it is not afraid. It's been a good ride, Your Majesty, he says. I have a choice. I can surrender. If I give them the human, they might let me live. They would wipe my memory, recondition me, and put me back on the throne as a puppet. I could live for another 5,000 years in golden luxury. Or I can fight. If I fight, I will have to open my mind fully. I will have to unleash the full power of a matriarch. It will burn me out, it will kill me. But it will buy him time. No, he is dying anyway. So why fight? I fight because he taught me how. I fight because for the first time in the history of the Vyrn, a queen chooses her own destiny. I am not fighting for survival. I am fighting for him. To ensure that his last moments are not in chains. To ensure he dies as a free man under the open sky. I am walking to the entrance of the cave now. My bioluminescence is turning from a soft blue to a blinding, angry violet. Jack tries to stop me, but I gently push him back with a wave of telekinetic force. This is my burden. I step out into the rain. The 3 ships hover before me. Hundreds of drones teleport to the ground. I spread my arms. I am Xalara, I am the Exile, and you will not touch him. I can feel the energy building. I am a storm. I am tearing the first ship out of the sky with my mind. The metal screams as I crush it, but I am taking hits. Green plasma fire burns against my armor. I fall to one knee, glowing brighter and brighter, overloading my own biology. I can feel my cells breaking down. The energy output is too high, but I see the fear in the hive mind. They are afraid of me. They are afraid of the anomaly. Jack drags himself out of the cave. He fires his rifle, taking down a drone that was flanking me. He falls beside me. We are together. The sky is lighting up, not from their ships, but from me. I am becoming a supernova of psionic will. If you are listening to this, I am gone. But look at the coordinates attached to this message. This planet, this tomb. It is 2,500 light-years from Earth, but it is not empty. My energy did not dissipate. It seeped into the soil. It changed the biosphere here. Look at the flowers. They are not Vyrn, they are not native, they are hybrids. They have his resilience, my light. We did not survive, but we did not lose. This is Xalara, former queen of the Vyrn, signing off. Humanity, if you come out here, don't send soldiers. Send dreamers, send lovers. Because the universe is dark and only they carry the light.